Today I'm chatting with Mariam Seddiq, Pret-a-couture designer known for her modern tailoring, artful gowns, and a naughty but nice fingerprint on her work. Like her designs, Mariam is proudly made in Australia, but it's her Afghan heritage and her mum's larger-than-life style that define the strength and sense of empowerment thread throughout her work and her character. What better way to celebrate Mother's Day than to sit down and chat with a strong creative woman getting her biggest style cues from home.
You've described your aesthetic in terms of your design work as modern, architectural and edgy. But as a stylist coming into your showroom, what I've always enjoyed is there's a great sense of contrast. So I feel like when you walk in, you can see like black PVC and latex, but then there's always these beautiful tailored items and, these beautiful, elegant, embellished dresses. That's always the fun part about coming to see you. So I did a shoot a little while ago with my good friend Georgia May Davis, and we did a latex shoot, and I remember pulling from your showroom but like wanting to touch all the like gowns and the embellished pieces at the same time. So do you feel like that sense of contrast is accurate?
Yeah, I mean, I actually started off doing like majority embellishing, and I think I've kind of really gone into my love of architecture and form and art and all of that. So now we've really reduced the beading and the hand embellishing to like maybe like 30%, and really kind of forming this. We still kind of like have the hand touch to it. So it's whether it's forming origami kind of like pieces and then hand tacking it and all of that. But yeah, I think to kind of always kind of evolve and always have something kind of new and interesting, you've got to keep kind of pushing your skills. And so you're right, like every time you come in, there'll be something different that we're kind of working on. But having the embellishing and having that sexy kind of latex, there'll always be that stuff here because I love shiny black things.
Yeah, but you also have a lot of beautiful white things. So in terms of where you're at with coronavirus and where we're at in the world at the moment, are you feeling that sense of black and white, that like happy sad kind of contrast, or are you fairly even ground?
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm feeling that, I am feeling that kind of, I feel like it's a bit more colorful, like in terms of what's happening. I think everyone is kind of trying to stay sane, and I feel like it's become more colorful. Like even myself, I wear black every day, but I'm just kind of venturing out and pulling out color now to just, brighten up my day. And when I say color, I mean neutrals. I don't mean like pinks or greens and stuff. But and we had so many things cancelled and postponed on our part, not as well as obviously our beautiful brides and clients having to postpone weddings and all of that. But we actually had so much coming up that we had to cancel that we were working on. And we had this beautiful collection that we were working on for Fashion Week that was going to be an explosion of color just to confuse everyone.
Right.
We've got the most amazing, mood boards and all my sketches with the colors. So I think because I can't show that, I think I'm kind of starting to embrace all that with my paintings that I'm doing and with what I'm wearing. So I feel like I probably wouldn't have done that if this didn't happen. I would just have my black uniform, get shit done. But now I'm just kind of embracing all of that color into the studio. I am surrounded by white, but that's our new collection.
Yeah.
That we showed in Melbourne. Yeah,
right.
I would have been in New York right now.
You were in London as well. You were supposed to show your collection in London in March. Is that right?
Yeah, that was so exciting. I was gonna, I was gonna be a jet setter. It's gonna be so fun. But I was supposed to show Capsule 2 in London. We had the most amazing buyers lined up as well, and it was gonna be great. And then after London, we were supposed to go to New York now, and then Fashion Week. So we had like a triple whammy of exciting stuff. I would have been stressed off my tits, and but good stress. But now it's just kind of a time where, we've just had to like rethink, organize, and just keep busy.
Yeah. And so are you streaming? Like, because one of the things we've been talking about in the last couple of episodes of the Style at Home edition of Style Stories is that, people sense decluttering as a means of just like almost like a cleansing and a cathartic process. Is that kind of what you're doing, or is that what you need to do with your business? Because obviously your business would be heavily affected, as you said, cancellation of weddings, big events, none of that's happening. How are you streamlining the business how are you overcoming the setbacks?
Yeah, well, in terms of decluttering, because we are on the go and there's never any time to do anything, like not even to think, because it's always just every day's like a new adventure in here, and it's just go, go, go. I think the best part about this is just the decluttering, the organizing of, even just like the basic like patterns, and all of that's been amazing, because we're now really kind of organized for when everything goes back to, normal routines to just kill it. But even like cleaning and reorganizing the studio, I wouldn't, normally won't have a chance to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah. So going back to your style, you're saying that you've been embracing more colour and that even your new collection's got a lot of colour. There's also this element of naughty, nice in your collections, like there's the sexy girl, but then there's the nice, beautiful bride. Are you a little bit naughty? I sense that you might be.
A lot of people, I think the way they will probably describe me is cheeky. I think I am definitely naughty and nice. And I think that's like that. It's funny how you say that. It does show in my work, because I've got a mix of kind of like a beautiful kind of elegant tailored shoulder, and then I've got a sexy transparent waist, and then we go back to having an opaque skirt, but then I've got a thigh high split. So it's like a bit of this, a bit of that. It's a little fun. I think it's really nice to hide some things and show some things without it all kind of popping out, and so definitely, that is a good observation.
Does it come out in your, like, what you wear for yourself as well?
No. No, I have been doing some squats, so I am showing off my thunder thighs. But as my ex described me, he used to call me Steve Jobs, because I literally would just throw on all black everything and just leave, and that was my uniform. So I have been a little bit sexy these days, showing a bit of décolletage in my t-shirts, my assets. But no, I think the more I train, which I'm doing now, which that's another thing, is I always wanted to incorporate some sort of exercise routine in my schedule, and I always kind of pushed it back because I never had any time. But now I'm doing boxing, I'm starting Pilates, going for walks, just shit I've never do before.
Yeah, and how's that making you feel? Is it good?
Oh, it's great. It's great. So I think once we hit the ground running, I have to somehow remember, what I'm doing, and to have some sort of routine with exercise, because it does make you feel good, and it actually does help in the way you dress as well, because you are a little bit more confident, and you do want to, show off the good bits.
Yeah. I agree. Whenever I don't exercise for a week, I'm like, yeah, I want to wear things that are a bit more covered up. And even if it's not a noticeable difference, it does become that thing, like you just hold yourself a bit stronger and higher, and you know, because you can feel the muscles working, can't you? And so it's kind of just like aligns you a little bit. I'll get into my next question. So we were talking before the interview started about the fact that you've got your parents are from Afghanistan, and that's your heritage. How does this influence your collections?
I think it influences my collections in terms of just the way my like thought process, and just what is happening in the world right now, and obviously in Afghanistan with women, and I'm really passionate about that as well. And I think just naturally I create strong shoulders, and I always create like a strong woman, and I think that comes out from, you know, my roots of trying to empower women. And obviously my dad, he used to always remind us how lucky we are to have been born and raised here, and had we been in Afghanistan we'd have this and have, you know, just he used to always just remind us to ensure that, you know, we are grateful for the life that we have here, and our opportunities are endless. And so I think I really, really do that with every collection. I, you know, subconsciously just create powerful women, and even the girls that I hire to portray that message, you know, they have to have it in them to be this strong, sexy kind of woman. And yeah, that is all stemmed from the heritage. So I wouldn't say, you know, I take, you know, our beading and all of that kind of just comes through, but it's more so the feeling and the mood is definitely related to the heritage.
Yeah. And so that's strong, sexy female. Would you define yourself that way?
I think I'm a little strong, yeah. You know, as you age, you do become stronger and stronger, and experiences, you know, really, really enhance that. You know, just, yeah, life and experience really just makes you the woman you are. And yeah, the way you kind of handle shit when, you know, everything goes to shit, I think that's when you actually realize, fuck, I'm like really strong, that I can handle this and keep going. And I think that defines a woman, how they carry themselves in, you know, heated moments. And yeah, I think that's important.
Are you finding you have to draw on that strength at the moment with some of the setbacks we've already talked about?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I am you know, a counselor to all my brides, clients, friends in the industry. I feel like I'm no longer a designer. I'm more of a counselor, and I actually take pride in doing that. And I think it's important right now. It's important to really nurture people's minds as well as your own. And I've been doing that by painting. You know, it's like therapeutic for me. But I think right now, you know, the concern is to make sure everyone's mental health is on track, and, you know, they don't feel lost or sidetracked, and they still feel motivated. And that's, you know, thankfully, thank God, for some reason, naturally, I can keep myself motivated and inspired, and I have, you know, the strength to kind of go on. And I just always want to ensure that everyone around me has that same sort of strength. And yeah, whatever I need to do to get that out of them, I try and do that.
Yeah, I want to get back to you in a minute, but talking of strong, nurturing women, I know in a previous interview you've kind of described your mum as quite a big character. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, she's the boss.com. She wore the pants in the. So I was always scared of her growing up as a teenager.
Yeah. And
yeah.
She has a big style too.
Oh yeah, she's super loud. Her hair's like up to here, and yeah, there's always like, you know, it's like a bird cage. No, it's really funny because she's got such a loud style, but she's such an elegant, refined kind of woman. So I think her style just kind of shows her inner, I don't know, wildness. Yeah,
Yeah.
she really is quite, you know, and I think with her style as well, she does love a good, you know, suit and a shoulder and like a statement piece. And growing up, I used to think she's too much with all of this stuff. And now when I look at it, I'm like, actually, you know, looking at that, the OTT, more is more vibe, I'm obsessed with now. So
Yeah.
and you don't notice that growing up. It just, you know, all of that stuff becomes a part of you, and you just learn to appreciate it as you grow older, and you realize how much you love it. Like our home growing up, there was like, because she's obsessed with antiques, and so there was like, we have these like antique chairs from Egypt, that King Farouk, and it's like whatever carat gold. And I was like, what is this crap? But no, it's all that, you know, there's like gold and all that stuff. It's all kind of coming into play when I do like shoots, and, you know, when I appreciate art, and all of that is from the childhood.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? Because that's one of the things that I love about this podcast. And, you know, in the original series before kind of COVID hit, it really is exploring all those influences in people and how they bring that out in their creative work. And, you know, even now, like I look at photos of my mum and I go, shit, that's why I love a white dress so much, because mum, like there's this one, you know, photo of my mum she was christening one of us, and she's in this beautiful white dress, and lo and behold, when I christened my daughter, I chose a beautiful white dress in a very similar shape. And I know I didn't even realize it at the time, but it's like, you know, it's all these like visual kind of connection points.
Kind of, yeah, ingrained in you. Yeah, it's really interesting. And I think times like this, people are really, really reflecting. You know, they've got the time, and they're just really reflecting on who they are, what they did, what they've achieved, and, you know, exploring that as well. So
yeah, I'd love to see a picture of your mum.
Sounds
You have to send me
there are the occasional like cheeky kind of photos that I do with my mum on my Instagram.
Oh, okay,
cool. And she loves the Mariam Seddiq blazer, so yeah, she'll be wearing it before I do, and it's like, I can't wear the same thing. So yeah, the whole wardrobe of it.
So we've gone from the naughty, let's go to the nice.
Yeah.
And going back to
was
what you
my mum part of the naughty, because she does have a naughty side to her that nobody sees.
Oh,
yeah.
So you get that from her then?
I would say so, but my dad was really cheeky as well. I would say more so. Like, he was very, very cheeky. Yeah. I think that's like a memorable part of him. He was very cheeky, but he was very like black and white as well. And a lot of people have said that I'm very, you know, very direct and black and white as well, but in a good way. He was a bit much, but yeah.
No. So, but I know that in terms of you talking about like nurturing people and being that counsellor, one of the things that I've been really impressed with is how you were like one of the first people to get on board in terms of supporting the creative community when all of you know, the lockdown happened, and you know, we're all kind of starting to feel the ramifications of everything. And people might not know that you've set up these workshops, for people in the industry to connect and to help continuing their work, and you've been the real driver of that. So can you give us just a bit more insight into what those workshops are looking like, and what the kind of outcomes of those have been?
Yeah, well, it all kind of started when I was flicking through Insta stories, and I was seeing, a lot of friends in the industry and, colleagues, and, they all kind of seemed a little lost, and it was interesting to see the mix of the senior, the juniors, and, the emerging kind of small businesses, creatives, and all of that. So I wanted to, having worked with all these people, and I wanted to really just create an environment where everyone kind of came together and not necessarily kind of talk about business as such, but, just somewhere where they can express their, feelings and have like an outlet to share what they're feeling with people in the same kind of industry, in the same kind of boat as them. And it was interesting to see how many people really were part of these meetings, and having them weekly, it kind of had something for them to look forward to in this kind of shitty time, which was good. And then we had some fantastic professionals jump on board and really do one-on-one sessions with the small businesses and creatives, and really help create solutions for their business. And there is no rules now as well with businesses, because there's never been this crisis before. So everything had to be customized and created for these individuals. And it's just nice to come together and help people. Yeah, there were a lot of lost creatives, and I think keeping them inspired, and also just to let them know that you're feeling the same. It's really reassuring, I guess.
Yeah.
We still conduct the meetings.
Yeah. Good on you for doing that. In terms of inspiration, you mentioned before that you're creating art, and you're doing a lot of artwork to keep you kind of nourished and inspired. What else are you using as inspiration at the moment?
Well, any chance I got, I used to, check out to see what, what art gallery was showing what, and that was my getaway and my kind of source of inspiration. So I think definitely art is a big form of inspiration, music, and I barely get a chance to read, so now I'm reading as well. But those are my main things.
What kind of music?
I hardly watch TV, so I've downloaded some stuff on Netflix. Film is amazing.
Sorry.
What was that?
What kind of music are you into?
Into a weird mix of like jazz. I'm into trip hop. Have you heard of trip hop?
I'm so not cool enough.
I'm into trip hop. Probably have to Google that. It's hard to explain, but yeah, that's what I'm into. Old school R&B is always a vibe as well.
Yeah. And are you reading at the moment?
I do love reading, inspiring, kind of real deep stuff, just to stimulate the mind. So if I do read, it has to be deep and has to keep me, wanting to turn the pages, because I do get distracted easily and I do get bored easily. So these are the problems. So yeah. If it doesn't get me within the first 2-3 pages, I'm throwing it out.
What's a good deep book that you've read that suits you? And
I did read The Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark whatever. That was really good.
Yeah.
It was like the way he wrote it was real informative, but it was also still really casual. It was almost like a friend kind of writing it and you're reading it, because he was he was a little ghetto in it as well, which I liked. Yeah. So yeah.
What's your main takeout of The Art of Not Giving a Fuck?
It's funny because I am the kind of person that doesn't give a fuck, and I'm always that annoyingly positive person. So for me, it was pretty much what I do anyway, but it was cool to see that's his theory, and and I think that book will definitely help a lot of people. So I think it's like not to sweat the small stuff, and all of that.
Yeah. So in terms of where we are right now, one of the things I've been asking people is, what are they treasuring? Like if we've gone through a process of decluttering, what are we holding on to, and what are we keeping keeping close to us, especially in terms of what we wear as a symbol of us or our style? What are you treasuring at the moment?
Basically, I think style is key, and what you wear is key. But I think myself, and what I'm actually treasuring is the inner kind of health. And I think this time has really kind of taught me to sleep, eat, exercise, and all that. And I think no matter what you kind of put on, I think if you don't have that like inner glow, that kind of that freshness, I don't think anything, it just really elevates the way you look, is that inner kind of having that serene kind of mind, the freshness, and just, I think it's like that inner glow and that inner, Do
you think that inner glow is coming out in your desire for colour?
I think so. I think I'm vibing a bit of colour, like Yeezy neutrals, and I think, I'm slowly starting to embrace that. And I think because black is such a fashion color, you see everyone in black, it's just so safe. And when you go to all the fashion events, everyone's just wearing black, and it looks shit hot, and I'm obsessed with black. All my furniture's black. But I think there's just something beautiful about putting on a crisp white shirt or a bit of color. It just makes you feel good vibes. Yeah. And I'm starting to feel that. But I will revert back to Steve Jobs when I do get busy. And also when I'm working with clients and brides, I think when I wear black, the focus is kind of off me, and that's what it's all about. It's about them and what they're kind of wearing. So it's almost kind of like something that's not distracting. And when you're really busy, black is a uniform, and it's just, you can't go wrong with black, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely embracing the color at the moment. And my red lip.
Yeah, I'm loving the red lip.
Yeah.
You're gorgeous.
I hate makeup, so I just, when I put on a little bit of red lipstick, it just does everything else. So
yeah. And my last question, Mariam, is coming out of this, what you, out of anybody, has access to the most beautiful coming out outfits? What are you going to wear as your kind of celebration party piece the next time you can go to a party?
Oh, the sexiest suit ever, and heels like this high.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, just a real boss suit.
Awesome.
Fun. Yeah. Maybe a color. Let's see how wild I am.
I'll hold you to it. Thank you so much. This has been awesome. I've loved talking to you. You're so cute and funny.
Like most small businesses, Mariam has had to face considerable setbacks during the time of coronavirus, and she claims it's the art of not giving a fuck that's getting her through. Like her collections though, Mariam is full of contrast, and despite her tough demeanour, she does give one big fuck. This girl has single-handedly brought together a whole creative community, nurturing them to find strength in each other, all the time driving things along with inspiring enthusiasm and that unmistakable infectious giggle. She's also been looking after herself and her business, and is channeling that inner glow onto all those postponed brides looking for a little reassurance and a little TLC. It's not surprising then that Mariam's cheeky style remains bright, and she plans on coming out of this difficult time with strength and preparing for love.